I'm Kyra Condie, I'm 24 years old, and I'm a qualified Olympian for Team USA in sport climbing. I started climbing when I was 11 years old, and I joined a team at the local gym and just fell in love with it right away and started competing pretty much right away as well.
Right now we're in Salt Lake City, Utah. We're at our National Training Center.
So once USA Climbing made this facility and hired full-time coaches and have really put an effort into high performance, a lot of athletes actually moved out here to Salt Lake to train here and train with Josh and train with each other. And it's made this really, really cool training bubble basically. So after I finished college in 2018, I really focused in on competition climbing because I knew I had these kind of two really important years leading up to the Olympics. And so I really focused on training all three disciplines because it is this mixed discipline format.
With climbing competitions, you don't know what's going to be waiting for you when you enter the event. It could be all upper body, it could be all lower body, it could be a mix, and you have no idea what is waiting for you.
So competition climbing in general has three different disciplines. There's bouldering, lead climbing, and speed climbing. Bouldering is where you climb without a rope. You only climb about 10, 15 feet up, and it's usually pretty powerful. Lead climbing, you climb with a rope. It's kind of what you tend to picture when you picture climbing. It's more endurance-based, and you go for more like 60 moves. Then speed climbing is kind of the thing that you really would think of competition climbing. The wall is always the same. You could climb on the same wall in Chicago as you do in Moscow, and it's all about who gets to the top fastest. I personally like bouldering the best because I find it the most fun. I really enjoy the moves. I also find it the least stressful to compete in because you get multiple tries. In lead climbing, you only get one chance. So if you slip on the first move, you're done. I started climbing when I was 11 years old, and then when I was about 12 years old, I was getting some really bad back pain, and I just thought it was normal for 12-year-old girls to have really bad back pain. And then when I realized that that was not in fact normal, I asked a friend at the gym who was a physical therapist if he could check me and realized that I might have scoliosis. I had done all this Googling to see how bad it would be to need surgery, and I was like, okay, there's no way it's gonna be over 45 degrees. When the doctor called me and told me that it was 52 degrees, I burst into tears, knew I needed surgery. And kind of right away was this is not gonna make me not climb. At the hospital, people told me you're not gonna climb, you're gonna have a family one day, you're not gonna care about sports. That just didn't sit well with me, so I told my parents right away that I didn't wanna see that doctor and I wanted to find somebody else. I think the surgery came at a really good time for me. I was in middle school. I was maybe losing some focus on this elite level sport because it was taking time away from friends and things like that, just social activities. It made me realize how much I loved climbing and how much I wanted to pursue climbing because I had this thing that might take it away.
It doesn't really happen until you're all the way up there.
Okay. So, but your left foot comes off?
Yeah, left foot comes off.
Okay, I think I wasn't ready for that.
I
I thought you just were gonna stand up to it. Or didn't feel like I could hop my left foot up. When you're competing in climbing, you kind of have a mix of both planning out what you're gonna do and kind of going by intuition. I think the best climbers really rely on both. You have a plan before you get on the wall usually, but you have to be able to morph what you're gonna do while you're climbing. And so actually this year I started talking to a sports psych for the first time. I was kind of just a basket case trying to qualify for the Olympics. That was just way more pressure than I've ever felt before and didn't really know how to deal with it. Is kind of this idea of present focus where you don't want to be thinking ahead. If I top this climb, I'm going to qualify for the Olympics. You want to be thinking about, I'm grabbing this hold, I'm going to pull through and grab this next hold. Instead of what it will mean if you do it, you want to be thinking about what you're doing.
I think the mental part of the sport is really important, and it's something that we talk a lot about in trainings, talk even more about in competition. It's just believing and that you've put in all your time, and now you just have to believe in yourself on the wall.
When I was trying to qualify for this Olympics, I had this moment where I was like, okay, well, if I don't qualify for 2020, there's still at least 2024. And then I had a thought where I was like, wow, no, I really want to be part of the first group of climbers to ever be in the Olympics.
I think Kyra Condie will be a perfect ambassador for the debut of sport climbing in the Olympics.
I really hope to be a role model for all the young women climbing in the US and inspire more people to get into it.